Dear valued soul, this one is for the solo moms whose own kids were turned against them by an ex who knew exactly how to hurt her, and still, she shows up with grace, power, and unwavering love. I'm Naomi Grace, and if your ex has ever tried to turn your own children against you, pause. You are not crazy, you are not alone, and you are not powerless. Today, I'm breaking down 3 brutal but freeing rules that helped me reclaim my voice, restore peace in my home, and stop playing the game. Because when they try to use your kids as weapons, you need a shield made of truth. Let's go. Let's be real. Some exes don't want to co-parent, they want to control through confusion. They drop last-minute requests, stir up the kids' emotions, and vanish when consequences show up. They whisper lies like, "She's too strict. She doesn't let you have fun. Your mom always makes it difficult." Sound familiar? This isn't parenting, this is emotional sabotage. It's calculated, and it hurts. The problem is, it destabilizes the child and discredits your authority. But here's the teaching. If you don't draw the line, your peace will pay the price. You're not helpless, you're powerful. Let me show you how. I used to write long texts, apologize for things I didn't even do, all because I didn't want my kids thinking I was the mean one. But here's the truth. Guilt is not a parenting strategy. Your ex may use guilt to gain control, but that shame isn't yours to carry. The solution? Stop defending yourself against lies that were designed to provoke you. When I stopped reacting to their version of me, I started reclaiming my sanity. God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. That's from 1 Corinthians 14:33. You see, peace doesn't scream, peace doesn't chase, peace stands still, and truth walks with it. Here's a mantra I held close. I no longer carry guilt that doesn't belong to me. I lead with truth, not reaction. The hardest lesson I learned? Chaos thrives in silence. So I got loud, not with shouting, but with structure. No more "we're running late." No more "we'll drop them off when we're done." No more "plans changed." I drew a clear line in the sand. If it's not on the calendar, it's not happening. Boundaries don't just protect your time, they teach your children what respect looks like. People treat you how you allow them to. That's a Dr. Phil line, and it stuck with me. In March 2025, my ex tried to switch weekends again without notice. I calmly said, "We stick to the court order." He pushed back. I stayed silent. I didn't lose control, and I didn't lose my peace. My boundaries are not punishments, they are protection. Say this with me. My boundaries are sacred. My energy is guarded. My children are safe. Now, here's the most brutal rule of all. I had to stop caring what my ex told the kids about me. Your mom's always angry. Your mom doesn't let us be a real family. Your mom ruined everything. But here's what I know. You are not who they say you are. You are who God says you are. Isaiah 54:17 says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every tongue that rises in judgment you shall condemn." Let go of the version of you that lives in their mouth. Hold tight to the version of you that lives in your truth. Children grow up. They learn. They see. You don't have to defend yourself forever. You just have to be consistent. Michelle Obama said, "When they go low, we go high." And sometimes going high looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like joy they can't touch. Sometimes it's turning off the phone and turning on peace. Here's something that helped me. When you stop obsessing over how they see you, you finally start seeing yourself. You start seeing the mother who stayed up at night, the woman who never stopped working, the warrior who held the line when it got ugly. You are not the damage, you are the healing. You are not the past, you are the pivot. And if no one's told you today, I'm proud of you. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And if they're using the kids to paint a false picture, let them. You just keep painting the truth in your home, in your habits, and in your heart. In July 2025, my daughter said, "Mom, I know you're always here." That sentence healed years of second-guessing. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be present, peaceful, and clear. You're not the only one walking this hard road. Latrice Sampson Richards talks about emotional clarity. Dominique Sachse shares how to rise through reinvention. The Strong Single Human podcast offers raw truth for solo parents. These women, these creators, are building peace brick by brick, just like you. You are not too late. You are not too emotional. You are not too tired to rise again. Here's another verse I held in dark moments. Psalm 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. You're not crushed, you're being reshaped. You're not broken, you're becoming. And through it all, your children are learning not just how to survive, but how to thrive through truth. Let's recap. The 3 brutal rules that changed everything. No more guilt games, boundaries like a wall. Stop chasing their version of you. Let me leave you with this. Steve Maraboli said, "The most powerful relationship you will ever have is the relationship with yourself." And for us, solo warriors, that power multiplies when we protect our peace. So this is your reminder. Your peace is not negotiable. Your story is not over. And your strength? It's louder than their lies. And remember, solo doesn't mean small. It means unstoppable. Need support? These tools helped me protect my peace. BetterHelp, therapy, co-parenting handbook, Bonal boundaries, Dr. Cloud Strong Single, Human, podcast. Latrice Sampson Richards, YouTube. Isaiah 54, 17, Psalm 34, 18, 1 Cor 14, 33. Hit subscribe, and your fearless journey continues right here. I'm Naomi Grace, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay fearless.